Well, good morning and welcome to Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing. I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum. I'm so happy to welcome you here this morning, and welcome to those of you that are joining us online. I will say we're finding it a little cool with the front door opening and stuff, so feel free to keep your coats on. We did move the thermostat up a couple degrees. And if you're here for the first time, truly a special welcome. We have a coffee bar that's open. This is definitely a do-it-yourself place, so please feel free at any time to get up and help yourself to a beverage or snack over on the table. Those of you online, you're going to have to, I'm afraid to, it definitely is DIY for you at home, whatever happens to be there. For those of you that weren't here this week, if you notice that things look a little bit different, we're doing an experiment for 30 days to see if we can help reduce our bills for utilities, and just put some little notes up there. We've had increases in our rates that have made quite a significant difference. 56% increase monthly, which over the course of a year is like $5,000. So we're doing what we can to use our resources wisely. Now, what this may bring up for you is where are certain things. So the youth area, which used to be over in the corner in the South Hall, is now in the activity room, and there's a TV on in there live streaming the service. So if anybody has kids, they're welcome to go in there and still be part of the service. We now have a community bulletin board, and in front of that is a table right out in the hallway on your way to the bathrooms. That's where all your sign-up sheets are, daily words, those kind of things. Brochures are also out there, and the human condition brochures are right in the lobby when you came in the door. And our prayer practitioners, right now we're still meeting up here for prayer after service. We're seeing how that works out. So it's an experiment. We try it, and if we might have to move it around, but we're going with the flow because we're Unity people. So speaking of prayer, our prayer box is over there, right near the door where you come in and go out. If there's anything on your heart, celebration, concern, consider putting in a prayer request. Our prayer team is here to pray with you, to support you, to celebrate with you, to offer you that loving care and concern that you are never alone no matter what is going on in your life. So we pray with you for 30 days, and then we've supported through Silent Unity for an additional 30 days of prayer. And with that, let's affirm our new mission statement together. We are a spiritual community embracing positive transformation through prayer, education, and living the principles of unity and love. And as we worked on the mission, we also allowed our vision to evolve. And we are seeing a world that is joyful and supportive, centered in love, providing the opportunity for spiritual transformation. And as we say that, we understand in transformation that we're not all transforming the same, that the whole world is not on the same path. And that doesn't make it right or wrong. It's just the many varieties of finding our understanding and experience of that one presence. One light, yet many lamps. So let us affirm together, the enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us, the compassion of the Christ moves through us, the power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us, the presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. Greg's going to lead us in invocation by our own Lucille Olson. So as we step into this morning's service, this is a great time to pray for our neighbors all around the world. And particularly, there's going to be some new neighbors close to us. So in prayer today, I wanted to hold in our prayers the homeless community over on the Grand River Boulevard, that they are dismantling that by the 22nd, which is tomorrow, and they're moving the people to the causeway in over here on Cedar, so they're going to be in our neighborhood. So certainly hold them in our prayers that they might find comfortable and permanent housing and support for whatever it is in their life that they're going through. And also, it's been a crazy week with the shootings last week and the Bondi Beach and Rob Reiner. Just really those suffering from mental illness. I think this time of year when we get into the darkness, it exasperates any tendency towards mental illness. It's a very emotional time of the year, which just adds to it also. So in our hearts, just to hold that illness also in our heart. It is no different from any physical illness. Just as we wouldn't blame anybody because they had a kidney disease or they had cancer, having a mental illness is the same thing. It just requires that rebalance and building as anything else within our body. And then this week, unfortunately, the Shabbat Jewish Center at MSU was vandalized, was attacked. Some rocks were thrown at it, some windows were broken, and this is, of course, Hanukkah. And I'm a member of the interfaith community here in town, and we have put together a statement on anti-Semitism I want to share with you this morning during this part. I mean, here it is Christmas, which is about this Jewish baby, and there's this, surge of anti-Semitism. It's just, I'm not getting it. But 2 apparent hate crimes were committed against Shabbat Jewish Center in East Lansing during the festival of Hanukkah this week. On December 16th, a person threw rocks at Shabbat, and on December 18th, possibly the same person spray-painted swastikas on the center and threw more rocks, breaking windows. No one was hurt, we're relieved to say. However, these acts of violence followed in the wake of the horrific murders on Bondi Beach, Australia, the first night of Hanukkah. Considering this, as well as the continued rise of white Christian nationalism in the United States and the upswing of anti-Semitic attacks around the world, the Interfaith Clergy Association of Greater Lansing declares, "We condemn this abhorrent attack in East Lansing and the horrific violence in Bondi Beach in the strongest of terms. We condemn anti-Semitism in all its forms and all violence against the innocents, whether the violence is in words, acts, or acts left undone. In this local community, our Interfaith Association has helped us to become friends and partners together in building bonds through that cross faith and cultures. We stand united against any threats to our Jewish friends, against any intimidation or provocation. We commit to encouraging our communities to seek peace and understanding with our Jewish neighbors, as it is only through building strong relationships and educating each other about our perspectives that we can hope to achieve harmony. All faiths affirm that we are called to act in peace and love as repairers of the world. We pray for compassion, kindness, and a just peace for all." And this has been signed by 6 community church leaders within our community. They asked that we share it with our congregation, which is why I shared it with you. And let's take that all into prayer. So as we join together in prayer, we have this wonderful opportunity to step behind any outward appearances of differences to that place of oneness, that place where we are connected in love, peace, and harmony. We allow the peace within us to flow out to all members of our community. For those who are homeless and displaced, for those who are feeling a disharmony with their world in this moment, and on a broader level, feeling that peace and embracing beyond the outer appearances, beyond that sense of otherness, into that greater sense of oneness. For there really is only one race, the human race. We bless this expression of the divine in all of its many forms. And we commit to do our own part, to be the peace in this world. For this truth, for the guidance that allows us to make the better decisions, to make the kinder choices. We are truly grateful, and so it is. Amen. Okay, a little discussion question for you at the table. It is getting near Christmas shopping. But I'd like you to think about this morning. What's the one thing on your real Christmas list, the ones you don't tell anybody else about, on your real Christmas list that money can't buy? What is it on your real Christmas list that money can't buy?
Wow.
Mm-hmm. We have those kind of secret lists that we would never voice.
Yeah, and there's the altruistic worldview ones.
World peace, yeah.
Those are the ones you do tell everybody about.
Yes.
But I don't really want material stuff so much, because for everything that comes in, something's got to go out. It's
that
gotten
point
to the
in
point
life,
where,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but what about you?
Well, the one, of course, I would never speak is to have Luke,
What now?
to have my grandson with us.
Oh, of course.
And you think about all the people that aren't here, that are
Yeah.
passed, and to have them back with us again. And more realistically, just to have my family all together for Christmas, to have, if I had to, my
That's a-
daughter and son with me,
Yeah. Well, and that one you don't have to keep to yourself either.
Well,
Yeah.
but I can't say it without joking now.
That's true.
Yeah,
Clearly.
yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of crazy. I mean, when somebody's gone, you only have the spirit of them with you.
Right.
But
Our family is pretty small, so and it's not hard to get us together because it's just really my mom, my dad, and my sister. It's just whoop, that's it. That's us.
Yeah.
So, but should we sing?
Like I said, sure. Okay.
Let's sing "Joy to the World."
All right. Yeah.
Joy to the world, the Spirit reigns. Let us our songs
Oh, let's stand up and be joyful.
employ. Well, fields and floods, rocks, hills, and plains, repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Repeat the sounding joy. Strength, faith, and love, the powers grow with will and zeal profound. Imagination, understanding, life order, wisdom and power. Life order, wisdom and power. All fear and darkness we now let go. God rules the world with truth and grace and makes the nations prove the glories of God's righteousness and wonders of God's love and wonders of God's love and wonders of God's love.
Hello. Good morning. I'm Jeff. I'm Jeff Benoit. Most of you know that, but for those of you who don't, here I am. All right. And I'm your platform assistant today. The daily word for today is joy. Like we just sang, inspired by the Gospel of Matthew. When they saw the star had stopped, they were overwhelmed with joy. As the Advent season draws to a close, we celebrate the light that glows from within us. The light of the Christ within. Just as the three wise men journeyed to Bethlehem to see the newborn child, our journey through Advent has led us to discover the faith, peace, and love that is always ours. These are true gifts. These are the true gifts of Christmas, ones that we carry with us all year long. No matter the challenges and obstacles we may be called to face, we will draw from our infinite storehouse of joy to remain optimistic and centered. Joy is ours today. It is the fulfillment of our Advent journey, our divine inheritance. It is in the fullness of our hearts, the contentment of our minds, and the deep feeling of wellness that are in our souls. We are joyous. Let us affirm together, joy uplifts me as divine light shines from within me. And I see an Advent candle over there. All right. And the light. Anyway, Humanity, today we light the candle of joy, honoring the kingdom of humanity, the crown and convergence of all creation. We have celebrated this Advent. From the strength of the rock and earth, the quiet wisdom of the plants, the faithful presence of the animals, we arrive at the human family, aware, relational, creative, and capable of love. Humanity is beautifully symbolized in the figures of the creche, not as distant saints, but as ordinary people saying yes to Spirit. It is also represented in the faces of those we love, the memories we carry, and the communities that hold us. Joy in this kingdom is not fleeting happiness, but the deep gladness that arises when we recognize one another as sacred. This week also brings the winter solstice, the longest night of the year and the turning point toward returning light. In this same season, our Jewish siblings celebrate the lighting of the 8th candle of Hanukkah, a symbol of light fully revealed, of perseverance and of hope that endures beyond expectation. The light does not rush in, it arrives gently, faithfully, one moment at a time. As we honor humanity, we celebrate our shared capacity to carry the light, to be the light, and to kindle joy even in uncertain times. Today we remember the light is growing, and so are we. And let us affirm together, the light of joy lives within us, and together. Oh, okay. Now I'd like to welcome our soloist, Elizabeth Kunc, to the platform with her beautiful music.
Love it, Kunc. Thank you, Greg. It's a hard one to pronounce, but it means the world when someone says it right, so cool. Anyway.
The
you know your baby boy would one day rule the nations? Did you know he's heaven's perfect lamb? The sleeping child you're holding, it's the great I
Oh, Elizabeth, thank you so much. And thank you for recommending that last week. Asking about that. Oh, okay. Well, Christmas time, I don't know why. This is Sunday for joy, and I just find myself teary, but it brings things up for a lot of people, so I want you to understand that there is group therapy out there for Christmas. Here's one. There's Santa Claus saying, oh, I don't believe in myself. The snowman who thinks, I think I'm bipolar, North and South Pole. The reindeer, all the other reindeer laugh and call me names, poor Rudolph. And there's the elf, I'm trapped in a dead-end job. So, we have all these different aspects to Christmas. And today we lit the joy candle. That's that accumulation of 4 weeks. And during the 4 weeks, too, if you ever get a chance to look at the Advent table here, we've been doing the 4 kingdoms, and we have the rocks, the plants, the animals, and now we have humanity. It's kind of interesting just to see all those components put together. But this Advent is about waking up to Christmas, waking up to the Christmas experience, of course. Understanding that something holy is always seeking us, in the sense of seeking to be expressed as us. And that, this whole time of year, as the light comes back, it comes back gradually. Where it does seem dark, things become illuminated, and it's not a blinding light, it's that gradual light that allows us to see. And I think about, when you're in the darkness, you turn the light, how you have that moment of blindness. And for the most part, our spiritual experience, our journey, is a gradual increasing of the light, so that our eyes adjust, our understanding adjusts, our way to express it adjusts gradually over time. So 4 weeks ago, we started out with this waking up to hope. Understanding that our spiritual journey starts when we finally get it. We want to raise our consciousness. We find different paths that we try out. We're waking up to that we're more than just this. Waking up. Of course, we hit the snooze alarm an awful lot. Favorite activity of a lot of us. And then the next one we talked about, it's not enough to wake up. We need to do some work about this. And so it was waking up to peace and doing our work to become emotionally mature. I was shocked to find out that the world itself wasn't what I would judge as fair. I think as a kid you think is all black and white and everything evens off and is fair. Well, that's not how it looks on human terms. But it's always a process. It's always an evolutionary. And we need to get emotionally mature enough to get the deeper understanding of what's going on and to really choose our responses, not to be caught up in the wave of what's happening, but really to choose how we want to show up and how we want to respond to this out there. And then last week we talked about waking up to love. That's the deep stuff, when you're doing the really deep work, when we start working on our shadow side. And the shadow side isn't bad. The shadow side is just those things that we haven't wanted to deal with, the stuff we swept under the rug, the stuff we may have misconceptions about. It may have something we picked up as a child that we thought a part of ourselves wasn't worthy, so we hid it, when actually it's just fine if we bring it forward and understand it and incorporate it, so we become whole. So doing that deeper, braver work. And so we've done all this work. The fourth day is really the important part. This waking up to joy is about showing up. If we do all this work, we need to then put it into action. It's not enough to be book smart, if you will. So it's kind of like leaving the meditation cushion and putting on your shoes and getting out there and doing something with all this stuff that we have. The only reason, when you think about it, that we work on ourselves, we do our own personal work, is so that we can bring it to the greater humanity, the greater race consciousness that we're a part of, that we can help lift everything up, everybody up. A little more light, a little more joy, a little more wholeness into our world. And I likened it to baking a cake. I know some of you are allowed baking going on. You get all the ingredients, and you put them together in a bowl, and that's like us doing all of our work. But all that stuff in a bowl brings you no joy unless you put it in the oven and bake it, right? So that's that whole thing about we've done all the work, now we need to bring it to that ultimate point of joy, of putting it into action, of allowing it to be expressed in meaningful ways. Unity is often called practical spirituality and practical Christianity. And practical because it's really for us about how do we put this into work in our day-to-day life. Then I got thinking about the metaphysics of the Christmas journey, not just the Christmas story, but the Christmas journey, this amazing journey. And I love this picture of Mary sitting on a camel with Joseph. We always put her on a donkey, but a camel, doesn't that seem a little more fitting for her down there in the Holy Land? This is a story of two people that are saying yes to something that just seems so totally illogical and very fearful. Mary saying yes to this pregnancy, this miraculous pregnancy. Joseph is saying yes to believing that this is a miraculous pregnancy, and they take this journey. And at the time, the laws that they're under, when the story is written to reflect the Jewish laws of the time, if you had sex outside of marriage, the woman was stoned to death. Stoned to death. And the husband or the male would eschew her, would send her out. So they're breaking all kinds of Jewish laws in the story. And understand the story wasn't written until decades after Jesus' birth. The story is really trying to tell us some truths that are so much deeper than any historical record. They're trying to explain to us how we need to be brave and courageous to do the work that we need to do. So the journey to Bethlehem, if you're very pregnant, and in ancient days, this is not a comfortable journey. It's kind of a fearful journey, and they don't know where they're going. There's no Airbnbs, they can't call ahead, no internet, they don't even know where they're staying, and she's, very close to giving birth. Now take all the emotions, all the things you can feel about that story and bring it into yourself. And think about our soul's willingness. Our soul is always pregnant with this holiness that wants to be born. And we get this invitation not to be spiritually isolated, but to take all this perfect, pure, spiritual stuff that feels so good and warm inside of us and take it out into a world where it's messy, where it's unpredictable, where it's different than what we feel like in here. What an incredible journey we take. Every day we get out of bed to step into the messiness of life. Wow. I hope you appreciate how brave your soul is to do this, to go out to the edge, to take that journey, to be counted, if you will, going for that census. So showing up, I think, is really when we start living life in participation, engaged in life, getting our hands messy, getting our hands messy. It's really Unity's fifth principle. Our unity principle is that there's only one power and one presence, therefore it's part of us. Our thoughts are creative, prayers are effective, and we need to put it into action. It's not enough to know it, we also need to live it, to bring it out into the world in which we live. So I have a question for you this morning. If you were accused of being a spiritual person, a unitic, would there be enough evidence to convict you? Wow, isn't that a good question to ask ourselves? If I was accused of being a spiritual person, would there be enough evidence to convict me of that? How do we live? How do we speak? How do we act around our neighbors, our friends? How do we treat people when we aren't being observed? How do we respond to the sandpaper people in our life? And we all have one because they help us smooth our rough edges, right? There's a story that's told in a lot of different traditions about the monk's return. And there was this monk, he had spent years in prayer meditation. He was peaceful, he was centered, he was awake. Can't you just see him? I'm all love and light, here I am. And his teacher says to him one day, you need to go back to your village. What? Go back to my village? You got to be kidding. Because back there, there's noise. There's opinions that are different than mine, right? There are people who don't meditate. Oh my goodness, there are people that, do the bad stuff, right? And back there's one person that knows where every one of my buttons is. Nobody here pushes them. But there may be several people back there that know where some of your buttons are. But in which sequence we'll get the biggest boom, biggest bang for your buck, if you will. So really, that's like our final exam for every season. It's not the end final exam, but how can we take this and still be peaceful and centered and awake when we're in relationship with the world? Whether it be people we love or exes or just anybody that's not us. How do we bring this forward and to live into it? So here's a lovely little nativity scene. I think it's very unique. Does anybody see what's unique about it? See Yoda in there? I like to think Yoda's at the middle of the nativity story because he just represents such wisdom. What does he say? There is no try. You just do it or you don't do it. There is no try. And I came across this other graphic, like to take this whole idea of a nativity story deeper. I love this graphic that shows the baby, but the other side of the baby is a Yoda, the wisdom. That holiness within us that's being born is totally a reflection of the wisdom that is within us. That wisdom is already within us. We are a reflection of that deeper love, that deeper peace, that deeper understanding. That is that holiness that is seeking us right now, seeking to be birthed, seeking to be expressed. I don't know if any of you have read Barbara Marx Hubbard. She was kind of an amazing woman down in Texas. She wrote a book called The Futurist. And here's how she defines a futurist in her book. She goes, a futurist isn't someone who predicts the future, but someone who participates in its becoming. The futurist participates in the future's becoming the future. They are part of that co-creation. Isn't that just a lovely idea that we're participating in creating our future? This is nothing that's hoisted upon us, nothing that we're forced into, but we can be that futurist co-creator of what's going on. And our personal evolution, both biologically and spiritually, happens where this intersection happens. When we get off the meditation cushion and put on our shoes, when our physical, biological life really meets up with our spiritual life, that division between this is spiritual and this is human starts dissolving and it becomes one. That's where the evolution, that's that intersection where we really show up into living all the work that we're putting into it. And that shows up in a lot of different ways. A lot of it was with breaking hearts. Our hearts can break for the environment. Right now I see the species that are being decimated, the melting of the ice caps and what that's doing, polar bears trying to find a piece of ice to float on. Our hearts can be broken over those that are in hunger, those that are in poverty, those that are homeless. In the United States, people that are homeless and going hungry, that have empty fridges, if they have a fridge, if they have a roof over their head, there is violence and injustice. And when that breaks our heart, it's not a flaw of our spiritual work. It's part of it. It's our calling so that we know where to put our energy, where to put our voice, where to put our love. What is the work that we're being called to do? Mother Teresa said, not all of us can do great things, but we can all do small things with great love. And really, to me, that's what it's about, doing those small things with great love. Each of us shows up differently because each of us, our heart breaks at different points. Each of us are called differently. But when we put it all together, like over at the Home Street Church about being a force for good in the neighborhood, we show up collectively as a force for good in our world, all differently, and together somehow it works. Together somehow it works. And it's interesting to talk about small acts. This year, months ago, I signed up for a thing called the Pinta Pride Project. And it's a group out of Illinois that supports the LGBTQ community. And I thought, I wonder what it's like to be on the receiving end of support. It's been kind of a rough year for the LGBTQ community. There's been some absolutely awful laws against members of our community that have gone through. There's health care that's been taken away. And they threatened, the marriage was on shaky grounds there for a while. So I signed up, and what happens is I have gotten over 60 Christmas cards this year from allies and other members of the LGBTQ community. And each little card has a handwritten note in it. Some are parents, some have no direct connection to the LGBTQ community, some are members, but each card has this little handwritten note, and I can't tell you what it's like to come home at night and find a stack of Christmas cards waiting for me from people that I don't know. It is a small act, sending a card to somebody that you don't know. Sometimes there's a sticker in it. Sometimes I get a sticker. So that's what I think Mother Teresa meant. We could all do small things with great love, the love that was shown. I've never gotten this many Christmas cards in my life. It's just amazing. It does make a difference. It does make a difference. So showing up is not us becoming Superman or Wonder Woman. It's not about, I don't think it's about singularity. Only singularity in the sense that we have to make the decision to show up. But we're not showing up to be a superhero to do it by ourselves. We're showing up to do it in community. We know what we've done as community. As a community this year, we just did a wonderful job for our adoptive family. We did a wonderful job for the teens over at the Fledge. We made a difference collectively. It's just been wonderful because each of us individually showed up and then collectively got together. So showing up is about really, how do we parent? How do we treat our friends? How do we spend our money? How do we invest our money for investing? How do we treat our coworkers? How do we treat our neighbors? All of this are all about those small acts that collectively make a difference. And joy is the result. Joy is the outcome that happens when our spirituality gets practical. When the rubber meets the road, there is just a great joy in being part of that collective good. I did not see one sad face when people brought gifts in for the adoptive family. There was this little bubbling joy that was, as they brought the gifts out. I mean, it was just a delight to see, and even more delight as they gathered together. It kept getting bigger. It was just wonderful. Joy, if you think about it, is light fully lived. And today of all days, I mean, this is the most incredible day, because first of all, it's winter solstice. Shortest day of the year, longest night of the year. The longest night of the year can remind us that light is born in the darkness. That's when we notice it. That is when we notice it. We notice the stars in the darkness. We notice the moon in the darkness. We notice that return of daylight because, oh my goodness, look at what time it is and there's still light outside. Today is also the 8th day of Hanukkah. And Hanukkah is that beautiful gradual increasing of light, the 8 candles. I have a little Hanukkah candelabra here. I didn't light it because it's flames. What can I say? We love electronic flames. That each night is a little more light until we finally have that fullness of light. And joy is our light. We don't wait for it. We participate in it. We are the makers of joy in our world. And when we show up consciously, it's like we become living candles of light. Isn't that a lovely image to hold for yourself? That you're a living candle of light and you don't drip? You can be the electronic kind. So, is there enough evidence to convict us of being spiritual? Rumi said, Wherever you stand, be the soul of that place. And this quote by Rumi just really invited me to go a little bit deeper in it. Wherever you stand, be the soul of that place. What does that mean? It means it's not the location, but it's your presence. Wherever you are, show up. Just like the Holy Family journey. We take our emotional sides represented by Mary, the intellectual sides of Joseph, our mode of transportation, which we might consider whatever faith practice that we chose to travel on, and be fully present to it, to give attention to things that need attention instead of distraction, to care instead of being indifferent, and to love, actively love instead of being neutral. And finally, be the joy instead of withdrawing. Stop hitting that snooze button. So, affirmation time. Let's affirm together. I am present. I am engaged. I am a blessing where I stand. Here and now, I let my light shine. I am the soul of this moment. Joy flows through me into the world. So we're going to unplug. Oh. Doesn't that sound delightful? Just unplug.
Take a breath for yourself, just for you, and no one else. Feel the quiet, feel the love, feel the peace when you unplug. Unplug, unlearn, unwind, unyearn, unseek, unturn, unmove. Unplug, unplay, unmake, unsay, unsing, unthink, undo. Unplug, unrush, unwake, untouch, unpush, unplan, unload. Unplug, ungo, unwind, unknow, unwander. Welcome home. Take a breath, take a seat, take a moment, and just be.
And as you breathe, allow your eyes to close if that's comfortable. And breathe again. And allow again. Allowing yourself to be fully present and fully engaged in this moment. In the darkness behind our closed eyes, we might consider that Christmas journey of Mary and Joseph, traveling in deepest faith because they were called, though they may have been uncertain and afraid. They responded. So too with us. We are on that journey. We are being called. And so we travel, we learn, we explore, we sometimes fall. But we find within us the strength to rise again. We see ourselves from that great observer self as something holy being born. something of wholeness being expressed. Understanding that it is our calling to show up as love, to show up as peace, to show up as possibilities, to show up as that living candle in whatever darkness we encounter. So we affirm in our heart, I am willing to show up. In spite of what we may find fearful or confusing, in spite of areas where we may have doubts, we hear our soul again saying, I am willing to show up. And so we each travel our journey, courageous and brave. Even when we feel we are the last person in the world to do that next small thing with great love, we forge ahead and do it. On this spiritual journey, we've come to understand that wherever we go, whatever we are doing, that we are the soul of that place. We are the soul of that space. We are the soul expressing as joy. And so it is. Amen.
One breath at a time. One breath at a time. That's where the joy comes in. One breath at a time. One step at a time. One step at a time. That's where the joy comes in. One step at a time. One heart at a time. One heart at a time. That's where the joy comes in. One heart at a time.
Okay, little spiritual practice for the week. So wherever you are, just take that moment, if you're out, just going to a Christmas party, or you're going to step into the store that's packed. I'm fully here, and I bless this space with my presence. I'm fully here, and I bless this space with my presence. Everybody's going to love this. So, and while you're there, when you're doing that in the space, choose one small act of kindness. Could be listening to somebody. It could be showing patience when everybody else is anxious. Just that little bit of patience. And then, don't judge it. Don't analyze it. Just leave it. That's all you're doing is showing up, right? Okay? You're not measuring how much good you did today. Don't check off the list. Just do it and move on. So, huge difference. Wherever you are, you're fully present. And I am fully present to listen to Elizabeth right now because I know she's got another beautiful piece for us.
Children sleeping, snow is softly falling. Dreams are calling like bells in the distance. We were dreamers not so long ago, but one by one we all had to grow up. When it seems that magic slipped away, we find ourselves again on Christmas Day, believing what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside. Give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. Trains move quickly to their destinations, but destinations are where we begin again. Ships go sailing far across the sea, trusting starlight to get where they need to be. When it feels we have lost our way, we'll find ourselves again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside. Give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. If you just believe. If you
I do believe we have our own Mariah Carey. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. It was wonderful. And now is the time we create a sacred circle of generosity by acknowledging and sharing of the blessings we have received. Giving is a matter of the heart and not of wealth. You can place your love offering in the glass jar on the table, or if you are joining us on YouTube or using a credit card, you can use the QR code on the screen to give your support through PayPal. Whether or not you are sharing a financial gift this week, we invite you to affirm a sacred exchange by placing a hand over your heart or using an affirmation token from the bowl on your table. We bless the gifts of our love and our treasure by affirming together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. Our circle of generosity includes gratitude to every one of you who support Unity with your loving gifts. Our circle of generosity grows even larger as we share of those gifts with others in the community. As a tithing ministry, a portion of our tithes is shared with local charitable organizations that inspire and bless us. This fourth quarter of 2025, we are sharing a portion of our tithes among the 5 Congregants' Choice nominees from earlier this year. We honor our Latino community by supporting the work of Casa de Rosada and the Labor Council for Latin American Advancement. Our Black community by supporting the work of the Justice League of Greater Lansing, those who are dealing with cancer through our support of Cleaning for a Reason, and our children through CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocates. Let us bless the work of these organizations and affirm our own blessing by singing, I Give Thanks.
I am so thankful for every blessed moment, and I live in gratitude. My heart is open, my spirit is rejoicing, and I live in gratitude. I give my thanks to God. 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 I am so thankful for every blessed moment, and I live in gratitude. My heart is open, my spirit is rejoicing, and I live in gratitude. I give my thanks to God. 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 I give my thanks to God.
I have been told that Derek is in the house. We don't need Elvis, we have Derek. Come on up. Okay, let us take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts just received. Let us affirm together.
Given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of the Holy Spirit. And so it is. Amen.
Okay, following service today is Boards Game Day. Board Games Day. one of those things. Everyone is welcome to join us in fun. The games will be happening in the activity room. At 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve, Unity is offering a candle lighting service. Everyone is welcome to join in singing Christmas carols and the Christmas story. By the way, children are welcome to come in their PJs. And the adults can come in their PJs too. Okay, this year for Christmas Day, Unity is opening for some reindeer games. This is open to everyone and is especially designed for those of us who do not have family activities on Christmas Day. Bring a game, snacks, don't forget the snacks, or just come out and enjoy a fun afternoon. If you are planning to attend, please sign up at the community table. And again, to remind you, we've moved it around the corner out into in the lobby right outside these doors here. So please sign up at the community table in the hallway so we know you to expect you. And if you have any questions, see Nanette or Chris sitting right over here. You all know them. I think most of you know them anyway. And next Sunday, we close out the year with our Burning Bowl service as we release whatever is no longer serving us. Then following next week's service, we are planning some joy with a white elephant gift exchange. A white elephant gift can be a re-gift, something gently used, or something you made. After the service, we will exchange these anonymous gifts with a traditional white elephant game. We hope you'll all join in on the fun. Following the service today, our prayer practitioners are available to offer you heart energy prayers, which is similar to a brief Reiki treatment or affirmative spoken prayers. You will find our prayer practitioners by the lectern over here. 2025, in place of the peace song, let us stand as we are able at our tables or in the outer circle as we close out today's service with "It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas," followed by the prayer of protection.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the 5 and 10. It's glistening once again with candy canes and silver lanes that glow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store. But the prettiest sight to see is the holly that on your own front door. A pair of hop-along boots and a pistol that shoots is a wish of Barney and Ben. Dolls that will talk and will go for a walk is the hope of Janice and Jen. And Mom and Dad can hardly wait for school to start again. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. There's a tree in the Grand Hotel, one in the park as well. It's the sturdy kind that doesn't mind the snow. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Soon the bells will start, and the thing that will make them ring is the carol that you sing right within your heart. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Toys in every store, but the prettiest sight to see is the holly that will be on your own front door. Sure, it's Christmas time once more. Boom. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The presence of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.